In December 2022, the government introduced the Domestic Debt Exchange Program as part of measures to attain a debt to GDP ratio of 55% by 2028. This was part of broader conditionalities to secure a $3 billion balance of payment support from the IMF. The Domestic Debt Exchange Program was opposed by many local investors, including the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, a group comprising retiree investors in government securities. In February 2023, members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum began a series of protests that eventually led to government granting them an issuer's exemption from the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. Since this exemption, the pensioners have been back and forth with government over the payments of coupons and principals. Last month, the pensioners resorted to picketing again at the Finance Ministry to force government to pay the monies, and after assurances from government, they suspended the protest. 2 weeks after the suspension of the picketing, the retirees are back at it again, this time defying the rains. Dr. Edouard Naniantwi is the convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum.
By God's grace, when we were all having problems coming, but I said, let's go, let's start, God's willing. And by God's willing, the this thing has the rains subsided and we were able to come. So we believe tomorrow too God will be merciful to us. It will rain. Even if it rains, by the time we get here, it would have stopped and we will be able to do our picketing.
A major concern of the pensioner bondholders has been the attitude of the Finance Ministry towards their letters. Since February, when they began protesting, the only time they have received a response to a letter was when the ministry wrote to exempt the group from the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. During Thursday's picketing, however, a Deputy Minister of Finance, Abena Osei-Asare, met the protesters for a brief interaction where she pleaded for a suspension of the picketing while they work together for a solution.
I sincerely understand and appreciate where you are coming from. This has never happened, where coupons are ready for payment or are due for payment and government has refused to pay. But currently, we all know the circumstances in which we find ourselves. And I'll plead with you, let's sit and clear the five, and then we'll see the way forward. So respectfully, I'll ask that...
Let's be...
Yes.
You see, we have now planned our gathering here in a manner that will allow government some space to operate. We all know what is happening. So when we meet here today, we are meeting tomorrow. Monday, we won't come. Tuesday, we won't come. Wednesday, we won't come, to give you the opportunity to start paying me. If by Wednesday we have seen that you have started paying, we won't come on the Thursday. But if by Wednesday evening we haven't seen any alert system working, then Thursday we are coming here.
Let's meet tomorrow, discuss this and look at the long-term payment for the principal. So I would plead that tomorrow you don't come whilst we meet with you and see how best we can look at things. My father here is shaking his head. But as I speak to you, yesterday we collected, or we were given the coupons that were outstanding that we needed to pay. And then we are in talks with Bank of Ghana. And so I would ask that let's give ourselves tomorrow to have that meeting that you said you wrote to us, but we failed to respond. Let's give ourselves that opportunity to have that meeting. And then I believe that from Monday, you would see some payments being reflected for the coupons.
The Deputy Finance Minister, however, was unable to convince the protesters to suspend the picketing.
Well, we are coming tomorrow for that 1 hour. But within that 1 hour, we will meet with the ministry. We have asked for this meeting. They suggested that they will meet with us to decide on the payment of the principal. The first principal is 101 days in arrears now. Somebody's money that he's using for investment, you are keeping it. And we have said we will demand interest. That's why it's normal. If I give you money, you have to return it to me 100 days ago, and you haven't returned it, you must be prepared to pay interest, because I live on the investment income. So this is what you want us to go and talk about and decide what to do. We gave you last, but 19th, meet with us. You didn't. We wrote you again, gave you another week to meet with us. You didn't. We don't even hear from you. So now if the deputy minister has come and say they want to meet us tomorrow, we will come. We will come here, and then the few of us will go inside and meet with them, come back and tell our members what has happened. Then our plan is that we are meeting only on Thursdays and Friday.
A wet Thursday morning, but these pensioner bondholders, they have defied the unfavorable weather conditions to resume picketing here at the Finance Ministry after government failed to convene a meeting to discuss principal payment. That was the reason why they suspended their picketing, because government promised that there was going to be meetings to discuss the principal payment while coupon payments were done on schedule. But that has not happened, and so they have resumed picketing here at the Finance Ministry. The Deputy Minister of Finance, Abena Osei Asari, she was here to interact with them. She tried to talk them out of the protests, but they maintain that until government begins payments of the 5 outstanding coupons and concrete measures taken to settle the outstanding principals, they'll continue to come here. So they have scheduled to come here again tomorrow. Meanwhile, there's a meeting that has been agreed between the leadership of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum and the Finance Ministry tomorrow morning. My name is Charles Osikumi. I've been reporting for Citi News from the Finance Ministry.